Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading is a mid-monthly reading for July 2018. For the reading, I'll be using the Gilded Tarot deck by Sarah Marchetti and the Sacred Traveler Oracle cards by Denise Linn. Those will be for the career and finance portion of the reading. And for the love and relationships part of our reading, we'll use the Chrysalis Tarot by Holly Sierra and the Whispers of Love Oracle cards, and those are by Angela Hartfield. As I usually remind you at the beginning of these videos, these are general readings, so the messages may or may not resonate with you. The only way to get a truly personalized reading will be to order a private reading from me. If you're interested, you can take a look at the description box below. I've posted all of the ways that you can order a reading from me either by using the INSTANTGO app for quick, sort of yes/no answers. You can also email me or take a look at my site. So do check out that information if you're interested. I also suggest that you watch not just your sun sign video, but also your rising sign and your moon sign. Sometimes, the messages in one will resonate more that particular month than the other, or maybe all three will resonate and will help to provide you with a more complete overview of what's happening during that time period. Another quick reminder, we will have another full moon giveaway at the end of this month, so be looking out for that. I usually post the full moon spread video followed by the full moon giveaway video around the time of the full moon, and this month it's happening on the 27th. It's going to be the full moon in Aquarius, which is the full thunder moon, blood moon. So be watching out for that if you're interested in participating in the giveaway. What you stand to win is a free one-question reading with me. So watch out for that closer to the end of the month. So I will stop for now and see each of the signs in 1 second for the shuffle. Hi Pisces, hope you're doing well. I'm here to get into your mid-monthly reading. As you can see, I have already shuffled off camera and laid the spread just to save a little bit of time. So let's get started. We'll begin here with the career and finance part of the reading. So your first card is the Queen of Swords, followed by Major Arcana number 8, Strength. And the outbound card is the Eight of Cups. The card from the bottom of the deck, the overall energy for the last 2 weeks of the month for career and finance, you have the Page of Cups. And the Oracle card from the Sacred Traveler deck, you have View from Above, Get the Big Picture. Okay. All right, so beginning first here with the Queen of Swords, the Strength card, and the Eight of Cups. Well, first of all, you have 2 8s in your readings. And, with 2 8s, 8s have to do with cycles. It's a very sort of cyclical energy surrounding 8s. Also, 2 8s can signify news coming in, receiving news with regards to a relationship. Here, we're looking more at career finance. So this could be, a work relationship, sort of a work scenario, situation. So news coming in. And I do feel that that this could be news of either a new job offer, or, if this is within the same company or, the same place of work, just something new being offered to you that you're going to feel very, happy about, because the way that things have been going for you, within your current job, or, what you've currently been working on, I don't think that you've been feeling very satisfied with it. I think you've been sticking with it. I think that, it might have been quite difficult, but you've been very determined to kind of stick with things. But now, I feel towards the end of the month, there's a walking away, there's, leaving something behind that no longer serves you, but there's something new coming in. So summarizing, I would say that's kind of what's coming through as far as work and career goes. But beginning here with this Queen of Swords, she is, sometimes she's referred to as like the divorced woman card. she is air energy, and so she has to do with, our thoughts, our intellect. It's the suit of the mind, right? The suit of swords. So it's the suit of where we come up with our ideas, where we set our intentions. And you see that she has here, she has the sword of truth. She's wearing this beautiful crown, sort of symbolizing, her intellect and really using her intellect. And then we also have this light here. So it's, truth, kind of your own intellect, really pushing you through. And she is very, she can come across as quite harsh at times because she's very direct. She kind of doesn't usually sugarcoat things. She says things as they are. If this isn't you taking on this energy, and I do feel it's more you as opposed to somebody else, but it could be. I mean, we do have a couple of court cards here, and when we have court cards in the reading, they can be either people who are playing a significant role in her life during this time period, or, the energy that we're taking on, or they can just be sort of situations that we're dealing with, the energy situation that we're dealing with. So if this is a person, this would be an older air sign individual, male or female, even though she appears here as a woman. In these general readings, it could be either male or female, but Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. But again, I feel it's more you. And so this, the Queen of Swords, she's very good at so kind of figuring things out. She's very good at communicating with other people as well. And like I was saying, she does at times come across as, a little too harsh because she's very direct. She kind of says things how they are. She's good at communicating though, and she's good at coming up with kind of different, or diffusing a situation. If there's a problem, she's usually pretty good at figuring out how to, use her words as opposed to just, using her sword and attacking. She's not looking to get into any type of confrontation here. She's just using, her mind, using her words to deal with whatever she's dealing with here. And with the Strength card in the middle, again, this is just kind of telling me that, this has not been easy for you. And it's interesting because here we have, the woman on the Strength card. She's kind of staring back here at this Queen of Swords, which again, it just makes me think that there has been possibly a situation at work. It could be somebody that you've been dealing with. Maybe there's just been, a lot of petty bickering at work. Maybe things haven't been, just in general, the work situation, the relationships at work haven't been that easy. And so you've had to really, be very determined. This Strength card, yes, obviously we have, there's the woman she has a very loose leash here, this chain around the lion's neck, and he is also, he's very strong, brave, but he's allowing himself to be, guided by her, and he kind of represents, her strength, that courage, and she's looking, she's staring back at this queen. So I do feel that there could have been a situation where you needed to, remain strong, determined, really kind of stand your ground, and have that inner determination and strength and courage to handle a situation at work. But then, ultimately, I think towards the end of the month, with this Eight of Cups card, sorry. And it's interesting because the full moon on this card is very prominent, and it's a little bit hard to see here. Down here in the corner, this is actually a mole, and this mole is kind of representing, like, being blind to something, to a situation, or needing to open your eyes, and the man he's staring off into the, kind of into the distance here, but he's also standing in the light of the full moon. So we know that with the moon, usually the moon, if we think of the moon card in the Major Tarot, the moon hides things, right? We usually associate it with hidden things, hidden messages or secrets, things that we have to uncover. So, and with this mole here, kind of being blind, be careful that, that there's not something that, you're kind of blind to, or that you're not seeing really for what it is, with those kind of hidden messages also, in this card. And also I would say the full moon this month, we have the full moon. I believe it's coming up, I want to say the 27th. I don't have it in front of me right now, but I think the full moon in Aquarius is happening around the 27th of July. And this is, the energy for as you leave the month of July heading into August. So there could be a situation occurring around the time of the full moon at the end of this month. And this Eight of Cups is all about, much like you see here on the card, just turning your back on something that no longer serves you, and heading off, going in search of something that's going to bring you greater emotional fulfillment. We can kind of assume here, looking at this card, that this man, he has, he's tasted, or he's tried each of the different cups here, and each cup kind of representing an opportunity. This could be just different jobs, different opportunities, different things that he has tried, but for whatever reason they no longer satisfy him. So again, going back to this, if this is within the workplace, maybe at one point in your career you were happy where you worked, but now you're just at the point where what this company or what this job or what this whatever the work situation has to offer you, it no longer serves you, right? You're no longer fulfilled by what this opportunity or this job or career has to offer you. And I think that this really ties in well with the overall energy of this Page of Cups, because again, could be a person. If it is this, it could even be a child of yours. This is very young, very immature energy. If it is a child, this would be male or female, but a younger water sign individual, so Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. And, with this page, usually pages, you see that the page is holding a brand new cup, kind of like holding the Ace of Cups. And I do often sort of associate the pages with the aces, because for me, they bring in, they're offering something new. The pages usually bring in news of something, messages, offerings. In this case, this is an offering. We are looking more at career, finance. So instead of thinking of this more on, the relationship and offerings of love, this could be an offering of a new job offer, a new creative endeavor, a new opportunity for you on the job front or career front. If this has to do with finances, it might be a new offer, that's going to in some way enhance or bring, greater abundance in the area of your finances. But it's something that's very new, and it's very exciting. And it's something that I think you're going to feel happy about. It's going to bring you joy. I think that possibly, this, whatever no longer serves you here, this new thing coming in with this Page of Cups is going to be kind of, what's been missing here, what's been lacking here. I think that it's going to bring you a greater sense of fulfillment and joy, because, I think that things have been a little difficult for you. I think that you might have been putting up with a lot of, unnecessary drama even. And I think that you have sort of stood your ground and said enough is enough, and I need something that's going to be more fulfilling for me, and as far as work, career. And obviously this is going to play out differently for everybody watching, but it's something new coming in here, and this walking away with the Eight of Cups. So let me find my guidebook for the Oracle card and see what this view from above has to add to the reading. So it says, get the big picture. Don't get bogged down in details. Let go of petty concerns. Get the big picture. Imagine that you're seeing your life from above. Only do what is truly important. Everything else is inconsequential. Go through each area of your life to look and see what the big picture is. Make major life decisions based on this strategy. The Sacred Traveler wants you to know, it's easy to forget what the overall journey is about when the traveler gets caught up in day-to-day survival and the ups and downs of life on the road. It's only when the traveler takes time to look at the big picture that he realizes that most worries and anxieties are only temporary. Imagine yourself in the future. Ask yourself if what you are doing now will be important to your future self. Focusing on these concerns takes up valuable life force energy. Keep your focus directed on the important things in life. Let everything else drop away. Interesting. So this could have to do with needing to get to have or gain a new perspective, or to see kind of the big picture. And I do get this, this petty, whatever the petty, that it was talking about, the petty concerns, and, not getting caught up in that. I do feel that, if you have been dealing with that, you're over it, and you're now, this is you kind of staring down, you're looking down on the situation and you're saying, yeah, I've had enough of that, that I don't need that anymore. And now you're really focusing on, what is it that you like it was saying here in the, for this card, what is the big picture? Kind of, a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what is it that you really want for yourself? Where is it that you can kind of envision yourself being? What job is it that you would really love to be doing then? Get the big picture, and then if this isn't, if where you currently are is not, and I don't think it is, the place the way you think, okay, yes, this would definitely get me to where I want to be, then I think that, there could be an opportunity coming in that's really going to help push you more towards that new path. So looks good. Interesting. All right, well, let's move on to your love and relationships part of the reading. So we have the 7 of Stones is your first card, followed by the 2 of Scrolls. This would be the 2 of Swords in the traditional tarot. Followed by the 3 of Mirrors. This is the 3 of Cups. And the card from the bottom of the deck, the overall energy for the remainder of the month, is Major Arcana number 13, Death. And in this particular deck, is called, or it has the additional name here of Ariadne. And we'll get into the meaning of this in a second. And the Whispers of Love Oracle card that came out for you is Love Who You Are. You are a divine and wonderful person, deserving all of the wonderful things life has to offer. Okay, all right, so let's get into this reading first with the 7 of Stones. So Stones is pentacles, right? So earth energy. And earth energy deals with the material, tangible things here in the material realm. So it's the work that we do, the money that we earn for the work that we do, has to do with material prosperity, possessions, our home, family, also education, knowledge. And the 7, it's a card of kind of reflection. It's a card of taking a step back, kind of reevaluating, where you are right now. In the set, okay, so we're looking here more at relationships. So, in that sense, it's sort of taking stock of the relationship, okay, I've been with this person for a year now. During this year, we've had many good times together. I've put in, this much effort into the relationship, but both of us have contributed this, that, or the other. Yes, I feel that the person is, is very supportive. I feel that, we get along well together. So, where do things go from here? A year from now, if we continue on the same path that we're on, is that really going to get me where I would like to go with this person, with this relationship? Do things seem a little stagnant? Do I need to change anything? It's that type of, it's about reflecting and taking stock and saying if how you've been handling things up to this point, is it still working? Is there anything you need to change? So it's, it's a card of, kind of reminds me a little of the Hermit card in the sense that, it's about going, kind of stepping back and reflecting on a situation. But it's, obviously very very different than the Hermit card, but it does, it's tangible, right? With it being earth energy, this is kind of a tangible. So it's you really, looking at your relationship, I think, if you're currently in one. And I'm kind of getting different messages off of this card. Okay, so I think, for a group of people watching, this could have to do with, if you are currently in a relationship, sort of reaching a milestone within that relationship. The Seven of Pentacles often speaks of reaching a goal, reaching a milestone, again, reevaluating, seeing where the relationship is going. So this could be, a milestone in that it's, if you've been dating, then now this is moving in together. If this is, you've been living together, now you've decided to get engaged, or, if you're engaged, it's actually getting married. So it's, it's going to be different for all of you watching, but it's a reaching a milestone, reevaluating, thinking how things are going, feeling good, feeling sort of proud of the relationship and, all of the work that you've put into it and the other person. But sort of where does it go from here? But we do have, with this Three of Mirrors as the outbound energy, this is a card of celebration. Oftentimes it can speak of celebrating a birth of a child, celebrating news of a pregnancy, celebrating an engagement, a wedding, so it's that gathering together with friends, family, celebrating. So for some of you, there could be an engagement coming in, there could be a wedding coming in. Another message that I'm getting, possibly for a different group, this could be, you, if you haven't been in a relationship for a while, if you've been on your own, this is you kind of taking stock of, your life and evaluating, all right, if I've taken time out, if I've been single for a while, is that the path that I want to remain on? Or now is it time for me to open myself up to the possibility of meeting a person? Am I ready to get back out into the dating world? It's that type of energy. In this particular deck, it has a slightly different meaning attached to the Seven of Stones, and I'll tell you a little bit about that as well. But it has more, let me hold it up again. It has more to do with regret in this deck. And you can see that the woman, she's sitting here, and we have behind her, we have this river, and she's sitting in this very pretty valley with the river behind her. And it's about, and we also have, it's not that easy to see, but there are some red flowers on here. These are poppies. And it's about healing, okay? So there's healing energy with this card. It's about, the woman looks as though she's a little down, feeling sad, regret. And so this card or what it asks us to do is to kind of throw that sadness, throw that regret into the river, and allow it to kind of flow away and get on with life. So I think that could maybe, tie in a bit better with the group of people, who might be on their own. And, maybe you have had some difficult relationships in the past, and maybe that's, kind of caused you to, to put up a wall, or to say, I really don't want to, date anybody else. And this is kind of saying, throw all of that into the river, allow it to flow away, move on with life. It's time to maybe, open your heart again, open yourself up to dating. Now, there's this in the center, we have a decision to be made, possibly one that, for whatever reason, you feel as though you are unable, or maybe you are unwilling to make this decision, because that's basically what the Two of Scrolls, the Two of Swords says. It's a decision that you're kind of standing at this crossroads, facing a decision, but for whatever reason, you feel that, maybe you don't have all of the information that you need to make the decision. Maybe, there's something that you need to find out in order to be able to make that decision. Maybe, you just don't want to face the situation. Maybe you're unwilling to make that decision. So it's kind of like when, wanting to bury your head in the sand until everything kind of passes, and then, okay, I'm ready to deal with it now. It's that type of energy. So it's feeling for whatever reason, that you are unwilling, unable to make a decision. This could be a decision related to getting back into dating, giving a person a chance. For others, this could be a decision having to do with this milestone and taking things to the next level. If out of the blue, maybe, maybe there has been a proposal, or maybe there's been, there's been talk of moving in together, or even getting married. So it's needing to make a decision. Maybe maybe it caught you by surprise. Maybe you feel as though there's still work that needs to be done, or, you need to kind of figure things out first before you can give that yes, or before you can make a decision. Because this is air energy, right? The Two of Swords it's the suit, again, much like we had the Queen of Swords up here, it's the suit of the mind. So it has to do with your thoughts, your ideas. It's also how you communicate, right? It's about communicating those thoughts and ideas. And usually it's also sort of inspiration, and sometimes the Two of Swords is referred to as the stalemate card. It's kind of a stagnant energy, kind of a stop, a pause, because of this, reaching an impasse, or, or not being able to make this decision, not having that kind of stable mind or a balanced mind in order to make a very fair, balanced decision. But then there's this celebration at the end. So we have towards the end of the month, I think that, there is a decision, you move out of this Two of Swords energy, and there's a celebration. So I think that there is a decision made. I think that and ultimately there's a reason to celebrate. The Three of Mirrors, or Three of Cups, is a card of getting together with family and friends. It's a card of celebration. Like I was saying before, it can be just a simple celebration. It can be as simple as getting together with friends for coffee, going out for drinks. But it's about the enjoying, of the moment, enjoying the moment with and sharing of that moment with other people. But then, it can be as significant as, sort of celebrating birth of a child, news of a pregnancy, engagement, marriage. So, with this, following this this decision with the Two of Scrolls, there could be some type of big celebration towards the end of the month. And we have the Death card here as the overall energy. So the Death card, it speaks of endings, and very powerful, very significant endings and new beginnings. In this particular deck, it is a card that speaks of transformation, right? So major change, transformation. And it's about, you kind of ending or allowing this, this significant ending, because you know that what's coming in is this beautiful new beginning, right? There's a brand new beginning. And this could very well be, with the major, so this could be the death of a way of thinking. It could be, the death of a particular chapter in your life. If you have made a decision here, and if it did involve taking the relationship to the next level, obviously, one situation has to end in order for the next one to begin. So, if you're going from being single to engaged, or if you're going from being engaged to actually married, these are significant endings, but the ending brings about a brand new beginning, whatever, that is, it comes after it. So, I'm going back just quickly here to this Two of Scrolls. Let me hold it up again, because you see how in this deck, it is very, there are different messages attached to these cards. And we have, usually on the Two of Swords or Two of Scrolls, there's a woman, and she's usually in a very guarded position. She usually has two swords crossing her chest in a very defensive pose, and she's blindfolded, which is why we think, we usually say that she's blind to whatever, the truth or the situation, or not wanting to see something. Here we have a unicorn. We have this black unicorn, and it's, in this deck, it has to do with fantasy. And it's about, when you're faced with a very difficult decision, this card encourages you not to sort of overthink things, don't overthink it. Don't get caught up in that just, repetitive thought pattern, just going over and over and over something. What this card asks you to do is to, take this flight of fancy, take a more sort of imaginative, fantastical approach to whatever it is that you're facing, and you see that the unicorn's horn is kind of pointed upwards here into the heavens. So it's asking you to, tap into this this wisdom of, the kind of the realms of, the hidden realms. Allow yourself to see things from this different perspective. Use your imagination, see things creatively, and trust in that instinct. Trust in that intuition, that instinct, because I think that just looking at the situation in a normal sort of traditional way is not going to help you make the decision that you need to make here. You're being asked to look at it from this different point of view, right? But whatever, this is, it's going to bring in happiness, because again, this Three of Mirrors, Three of Cups is a very happy card. It's good fortune. It can speak of a new relationship coming in, a new relationship beginning. And with this Death card, that could very well be, I think that could be either a brand new relationship coming in, or there could be a new phase of a relationship, like I was saying, with the taking it to the next level. So new phases of relationships. Now let's take a look at the Oracle card. Let me find the guidebook. So this is card number 8. Okay, and this one says, love who you are. Be your own advocate. Believe in yourself. Love who you are, and the energy of self-love will help you to realize your dreams. When was the last time you gave yourself a pat on the back or acknowledged that you love yourself? Working on a good relationship with yourself will enable you to have a positive relationship with others. It's interesting because there have been very similar messages coming through this month for a lot of the signs, especially in the love and relationships portion of the readings. It seems like there's a lot of, self-love, self-healing, self-acceptance type messages coming through, which, obviously if we look back here, I'm looking at this Seven of Stones, and this is, again, it's a card that has to do with healing. It's a card that speaks of releasing regret and sorrow in order to move forward. And, I think that this love who you are, and, the self-acceptance and compassion for yourself is all, it's good advice, because obviously, it's very difficult to begin a new relationship with another person, without first loving who you are, without first being accepting of who you are, because in order to love another person, be in a relationship with another person, you have to accept them for who they are, right? And so there's this, you need to accept them, but there's also a need to accept yourself. So lots of kind of self-healing, self-acceptance messages this month. But overall, it looks like a good rest of the month for you. So I do hope that the messages have helped in some way. I thank you for watching the video today. I look forward to reading for you again. And just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light for a wonderful rest of the month. Bye for now.